Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a figment of our imagination that we were dying.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we couldn't just change our mind and say, no, we're not dying. Right? It's a changing our minds from what we're believing on from life, and then life has to actually indwell us.
Yeah.
Right? We can't just collectively come together and say, you know what? This death isn't real. This death is a lie. Right? There has to actually be a life there. There has to actually be a conquering of the death. Otherwise, we're busy with Gnosticism.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Jesus had to come and condemn the thing that was condemning us.
That's right. He had to actually conquer death. He couldn't just come and huddle us up and say, listen, guys, just believe something different.
Yeah.
He had to actually conquer death.
Yeah.
Right? Our death had to actually be conquered. Right? There had to be a spirit available to humans that can overcome death in their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
The only way that could be is if the spirit overcame the death that was reigning over us. Jesus is the manifestation of that spirit. He entered into the earth. He overcame the death that was reigning over us. Now the spirit that overcomes death enters into the earth and can be made available to all human beings.
Right.
Because he, as a human being, conquered death.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And then that gives us a different persuasion that we can live from. What persuasion? That we're going to have life by the work of God and not our own works. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And like Beulah says so beautifully, that logic. Once you believe on that we're going to have life by the work of God to send sin and death away from you, then the Spirit dwells in you, the logic of God dwells in you, and now that life starts animating your thoughts. And you start living from the faith of God.
Yes.
Because the faith of God is born from life.
Yeah.
Right? The way Jesus walked around the earth, his logic was born from above.
Mm-hmm.
It was born from having life.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
His thoughts were animated by life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. Life lights up your thoughts. Right? You're
Yes,
wise.
right,
When you walk
exactly.
around living from life, you'll walk in wisdom. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
You know,